Welcome back, BVC fans. As always, I'm Bobby the Bot.
And I am James the Con.
And we're here with another video wrapping up our year-end review on Transformers figures. And what we're going to talk about today is the worst or most disappointing figures that we picked up this year. We will be talking about official mainline as well as third party. So,
I don't want to call them the worst. I want to call them the most disappointing to us, just because there are people out there that are going to like these figures. And more power to you if you do. It just didn't jive with us.
And with this list as well, I'll mention it. It's also because there may have been figures that were great to others, but I had bad experiences with them. So that's why they made my list. So again, calling it disappointing. Now, I'm gonna be honest, it was just like a bad figure, but we'll go with that.
All right. Well, I guess I'll start it off. No honorable mentions this one. We're just doing them straight up. And the first one I got is Legends Grimlock. So with this figure, it's not really that disappointing for me, but I wanted to put it on here to antagonize Bobby. I got this as a gift from my father, so shout out to my dad, because he's watched our videos and knew how much we hated these things. So he's really good at giving presents. And yeah, what is this? He got some junk in the trunk. But it's not this figure that I have a problem with. It's the combiner set as a whole. For $60-$70, that thing should not look like how it is. But, you know, I'm happy to have one figure in my collection that I could make fun of Bobby with. So.
Oh no, that's all you. That's hilarious. For me, it's Trashmaster.
Really?
The alt mode is okay. It's fine. This looks good. I won't complain about that. But it just didn't do it for me. It was just like a big block of plastic, and these kind of plugging on and not really attaching to anything. I mean, yeah, it
they don't attach to something and like have the whole
no.
I don't know what that's called.
Yes, it's picking up the
they pick up the dumpster.
Yes,
yeah.
And that threw me. I was just like, oh, it just plugs on. So yeah, so they move independently of one another. So it was, as you would say, kind of lazy. I would have been okay if it would have attached to this piece and like the whole thing came off or something. So it just didn't do it for me as a figure. Nothing. I don't hate it. I just don't like it, and I'm glad I didn't pay full price for
it. Yeah, so moving on to my fourth worst, and that is G2 Dead End. Not because of, I think it looks great, but I had a hard time getting it. And do you see all that? This will not go together no matter what I do. It's always like that. I don't know if it's like that on yours as well. I hate that because this looks amazing. And it was hard to get. You know, I don't know how many times both of us checked for me. It looks great, and then it's ruined. It looks so bad. And another thing I don't like, which is the mold, and I'm just going to quickly transform the legs. Let's see if I can remember how to do this. Okay, this is good enough. These feet. That ain't no feet. That's a snub. Like, I felt like it should go out or something. This is the first time I had this mold, and I transformed it, and I was like, what are those? Not the good. What are those? Yeah, not the good one. The bad one, where it's like literally flat with his shin.
So he wears a size 3 shoe.
No, he wears a size 0 shoe. So that I like the figure. I'm glad I have it. I'm glad to be able to complete Menasor when that comes out, but it did disappoint me as well.
Well, this one was a little hard for me to figure out, and I haven't even opened it all the way. So besides the trauma of my childhood, rethinking about when some of my favorite bots were murked in the 86 movie, Hasbro decides to bring out these figures, which initially I was really excited about, but again, lacking the details, like the orange eyes, the smoke in the mouth, all those things that would have really made this a great set. And then the price point, literally it was $80 and it was missing so many things. So I got this at 75% off and I paid, I think, $17 for it. Appropriate price for what came in the box. Now, I did see that there are some third-party add-ons that I may or may not look at because I paid only $17 for them. It may be okay to spend, maybe $10 to make these look better. But these are my number 4. They actually could have went up to number 1. It's just really bad.
Yeah. All right. Well, even when he gets things on sale, he's unhappy with them. So let's move on to number 3. So this one, it's not the figure that I had a problem with. It's Amazon or Hasbro, and that's Nacelle. I like this figure, but it came with some mold or fungus. I don't know what it was on the inside of the wings. If you go watch, I think I did a short. I don't know if I did a full review, but I did a short on it. And that was not just me. There was quite a few people online that were complaining about it. And I think that's kind of ridiculous. I don't understand why that happened. And I feel like they need to figure out to make sure that never happens again. They need to figure out something. But regardless, I am glad to have this in my collection. I just got to watch it to make sure it doesn't grow spores.
The spore episode. Fortunately for me, which is very ironic because I typically have all the QC issues with my figures, mine came perfectly fine, and I was surprised when you shared that with me. So better you than me in this occasion. For me, my number 3, and again, this was kind of hard to really place it, and it's Extransbots. I know.
Wow, you said you loved these figures. Wow.
Now, we're talking about not worst figure, but disappointing. Yeah. I was so hyped for this figure, and there's little things about it that I don't like. For instance, you can see here that the elbow.
Oh my God.
Because the arm swivels both ways, you just kind of have to, close it up from time. I didn't have the problems that several others had, so that's why I don't necessarily hate this figure. I know some people had some terrible issues with it. And this is the US version. The Japanese version was actually better, in my opinion. So, but yeah, when you move the arm, you can see that flap doesn't come with it. So you have to kind of hold it here and move it. Now, with that being said, I am in on all the repaints of this figure, but my anticipation levels are much lower because I know what to expect now. This was like my most highly anticipated figure of the year. And so with those little things with the arms, some people had shoulder problems. The head, the flap in the back for the head, I do wish it hit a little better. I actually didn't spin this one around because I just changed the head on it, but it doesn't really cover up. You can still kind of see kibble from the face. So hopefully they improve that on the new releases of the repaints they're coming up with. I doubt it, but now I know what to expect.
Yes, at least they could temper your expectations.
Yes.
That thing needs an Autobot symbol stat on its chest. That yellow needs to be broken up a little bit.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's move on to number 2, and I have this guy. This again, we're not talking about the worst figures. I think this is Iron Trans Star Saber. I don't remember the exact name. The finish looks good, but the plastic feels really cheap. You cannot connect the inner jet to the outer jet when you combine them. It is so difficult, and it's not even worth trying. And that was so disappointing to me because if you remember, I was so excited, just like you were for the Extransbots figure. I was so excited for this because this is what the Robot Masters version of Nemesis Star Saber looks like. And then I got it in hand and I'm like, oh, okay. This he can't have this on his shoulder, like hold it like I think it's Guts from Berserk. He just doesn't have the posability to do that, which I don't understand because he has so much arm posability, but you just can't do that stuff. So it was disappointing to me. You can't throw 100 pounds of diecast in a figure, and that does not make it good. So I'm glad to have it in my collection, but it disappointed me when I got it.
That I forgot about that transformation, trying to connect the little jet to the body. That thing was terrible. Horrible. It was. Yeah. It took me like 10 minutes to finally do it, and even then, I was just like, I'm.
And it's still like going down. It's not like perfectly straight. Yeah.
Yeah. Uh-huh. So I forgot about that one. My number 2, Trojan Horse Hurricane, Waspinator. This figure was another one that I was interested in because it was a different take on Waspinator. Again, not being a Beast Wars figure, I liked that they were doing a helicopter. The helicopter looks great once you get it here, and that's the problem. It was so much unnecessarily tabs and flips and spins and cartwheels, and I felt like I was trying out for the Olympics. Once you get here, and then even still, there's certain things that, like right here, it doesn't tab in securely. When you try to tab one thing in, something else pops out, and this will live in this mode forever because I just don't want to go through transformation again.
Yeah, I never transformed mine. I don't know if you remember, Bobby, I had a whole bunch of QC issues with mine, and then I got the parts, put the new parts on, and then moved on to the next figure I was getting. So, all right, well, let's talk about the number 1 disappointing figures for us. And mine, ooh, look. This thing is horrible. This thing, it feels cheap. The hands are a different type of plastic. It barely stands up. The head, I don't like the head. I don't know what's wrong with it. It doesn't look, like Slipstream. It looks like just Starscream in different colors. And I get it. They didn't want to remold the body, so it looks a little bit more feminine. But I really don't like this. It looks like Megamind with that big old forehead. I probably won't be displaying this. It'll probably be going back in the box. Yeah, I'm very disappointed. I wanted a Slipstream, and this is not it. Make Toys has really gone downhill, it feels like, with these figures, because these hands feel like they're going to break every time I touch them. And, I wish I saved my money at the convention and bought something I actually liked. And I'm sorry to all of you that didn't get this at the convention. It's still available on Show Z. So, the 200 of them, limited edition 200 that they made, you can still go ahead and buy one of those 200 at Show Z. A Chinese website. Not related to TFCon.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. I'm not going to go there. My number 1, I think, will not surprise some people who've picked it up. But it's Fans Toys Warthog, aka Power Glide. And this thing, and I'm still waiting on it. They're in now, but literally right out the box, the wings fell apart. They literally fell off. The hole that the screw went through was too big, and they literally slid right through the hole. So the knees, this one is actually pretty solid. But this one, very, very loose here. It was just a terrible figure. Highly disappointed. Something I did not expect from Fans Toys. They usually put out really quality products, and this was not it. This was, I don't even know why they they put this out. Like, this is something that, like sometimes a company will release a figure because a competitive company released that same character or something like that, or they're going to release that character, so they want to beat them to the punch. Nobody's releasing this, and they could have really took this back to the drawing board and figured that out. So I'm still waiting to see what's going to happen with the wings. I have a request for new wings in, and hopefully those get taken care of, because there were so many issues with this figure just across the board.
Yeah, and it's not just you. I saw a lot of reports online with people with the wings falling off.
Yes, and yeah, I literally put him on a flight stand because he won't stand up.
Wow. Well, how the mighty have fallen. Well, that is our most disappointing figures of the year. Please let us know in the comments below what was your disappointing figure. And if you loved every single one of the things you picked up, let us know which one you liked the least.
Yes. Hey.
Yeah, that's what this video is for. Let us know how wrong we are and how much you loved all of these figures, and we will see you guys in the next episode.
Yes. See you soon.